Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Timo Parker. I'm a vocal coach and I'm here to help you to improve your singing voice. I just came back from a run, and while I was running, I had the idea to make this video, which is, in my opinion, really important to talk about, which is how to overcome fear when it comes to singing, how to be less anxious, less nervous. Before we come to some ways to lose this fear and to sing in front of others, let's first take a step back and look at why this can even happen. Because just recently I was conducting a choir and I was completely shocked when I heard the following. So when we started this choir, I asked everyone, every participant, which were around 15 to 20, to tell us a bit about them. And I was specifically interested in music background, if someone has sung before or played any other instrument. And when everybody was introducing themselves, it turned out that 3/4 of the choir, so more than half, actually had a traumatic experience when it came to singing, which absolutely blew my mind. And I know already from a lot of students that I've taught over the years that there might be some situations, some key moments where people develop a trauma when it comes to singing, which is really sad, especially if it comes from someone who should actually support and empower them to sing and to enjoy music. So most of these people in the choir had this traumatic experience because the music teacher, when they were in school, told them that they couldn't sing, and the music teacher would tell them not to sing while they rehearse or performing and just pretend to. And this is obviously very, very bad for your self-esteem, especially in such a age where you maybe feel a bit more insecure about your voice in your teenage years. For me, it's unbelievable that things like this still happen. But unfortunately they do. And let's talk about how we can overcome such trauma and how we can lose this fear and this trauma that we have developed. So why do we even develop fear towards a performance, towards singing in front of others? And I think the answer is pretty simple. It's either because you're afraid of their feedback, you're afraid about what they have to tell you, how you sounded, how they perceive you. And the other reason is that you make mistakes in front of others. And the first reason is something that you always have to fight with. There will always be people that will not be convinced with what you are doing. They will not like the way you sound, the way you sing. And you just have to accept it and find a way to deal with that. Because at the end, it is just important that you express yourself, that you are happy with what you are doing, the way you sound. And it doesn't really matter what other people think, as long as you enjoy what you are doing and as long as you are happy with that. Because the beauty of having different opinions and different perceptions is also that we can create different niches, different genres. So you will always find your crowd in a way, and then you just have to let go of these people that are not convinced with you or with your singing. And spoiler alert, you will make mistakes on stage. Sooner or later, there will be something that goes wrong, and that's human, that's normal. That's just something that happens. It happens to me, it happens to big artists. That's just something that you can't prevent, to a certain degree at least. So let's talk about that. Because most of the times people are afraid of something because they don't know what the outcome is. So for example, if you're singing a song and there's a note that is challenging, let's pretend it's a high note that you're not able to get sometimes, then this note is going to create a discomfort in the performance because your mind is going to play the game of, will I be able to get this note? And this fear is transferred onto you, maybe even for the full concert, which is crazy because maybe this note is just a 2-second thing and then you stress about all the other things. So most of the times we stress about things that we can't control. To a certain degree, it is out of our hand what happens when we are performing, because this is just the moment and we have to accept whatever happens there. But what we can do is preparation. We can practice and prepare ourselves the best way possible so we feel more comfortable and we minimize the risk of making mistakes on stage. So when you are practicing and there are challenging parts that you don't always nail, chances are high that these parts maybe also go wrong when you're playing a gig, when you sing in front of others. So it is really important that these sections that trouble you, that you isolate them and that you practice them so much that you just know that they work. Because you have to convince yourself, and that's a very important step, that you know that nothing can go wrong. Because you have practiced this passage maybe 100 times, 200 times, whatever you need in order to really nail this part. And if you have the certainty of, I have done the best I could and I'm prepared the best way possible, you don't have anything to worry about. And I remember I definitely had gigs and situations where I had to deliver and I was anxious or afraid about this performance. But what always helped me to get there and to actually do it and also to succeed was to prepare myself the best way possible. Because if you, for example, already well prepared 1 or 2 weeks before the gig, if you have the luxury of time in this case, and you know everything is going as you want to, you don't have anything to fear. And you know it's gonna work out. So there's no surprise that preparation is a huge part of being a musician. Sometimes we practice for years, for hours, for a 10-minute performance if it's really challenging. And sometimes we forget how much work and dedication it takes to just be on point for these brief moments. And it's something that you continuously work on. And I always believe that you're always gonna stay a student. Even though if you're maybe teaching, I'm still a student, I'm still learning every day. I'm still exploring new things there. I still discover things that I can't do. And that's pretty normal because the more you learn, the more you know, you realize what you don't know, and you realize how vast this thing called music is and that there's so much to learn. And you won't be able to master everything. So just focus on the things that are important to you, that mean something to you, prepare yourself well, and then you have nothing to fear. And another big thing when it comes to being afraid of singing in front of others is your environment. If you're constantly in an environment that tells you that you can't sing, that you are not good enough, even the strongest person will to a certain degree believe what your environment tells you. So it is really important that you find an environment where you feel comfortable, where you can work on your voice, where you feel you are supported, because otherwise you're always going to have a bit of fear to open up towards these people. When you start working on your voice and you're maybe not so confident yet, it is important that you have an environment that supports you. And sometimes it is hard to let go of people that constantly push you down, but this is something that you will realize that will inevitably happen on your journey if you want to continue, if you want to grow. Because sometimes we just have to let go of these people that push you down, that tell you that you're not good enough, that you can't do it. And you have to find people that are actually excited about music, excited about what you're doing and supporting you on a certain level. And I remember my teachers when I started learning about the way I teach now singing here, they would never say, oh, that was bad, you suck, or something like that. They would never say that. What they would say is, almost, let's do it again, but this time we try this approach. So always finding new ways to try to get it to the new level. And this is all it is. You just have to put up your sleeves, put in the work, and it's going to be a messy journey. It's not going to be from A to B. It's going to be ups and downs, and that's completely normal. And the best way to overcome fear is to convince yourself that you can do it, that you know nothing can go wrong. And how do we do that? By practicing, by doing things over and over again, up until the point where there's no question anymore if it works or not. It's just happening. It works. And then you don't have to be afraid about it. And sometimes we also have to make the leap of putting ourselves into an uncomfortable position in order to grow, in order to find new challenges. For example, when I started this YouTube channel, I wouldn't know how it would go, how people would respond to the information. And I did it anyway, because for me, it was important to share this information because in this case, the message that I had was greater than my fear. For me, the idea of helping others to get them where they want to be, and especially to make them aware of potential dangers that are very commonly used, like air pressure and other things, and make them aware that these things are not helping. Because if I wouldn't have had my teachers, I wouldn't be here right now. And I hope that I also can give you with this channel some input, some inspiration to change things in a positive way so you can actually make progress. So to summarize this video, important, practice, prepare yourself as good as possible. Don't be too hard on yourself when you do that. It takes time to develop a nice big singing voice, and it also takes time to internalize certain things. So don't stress about it. Just keep at it, keep practicing. Second of all, create an environment where you feel supported, where you feel inspired to continue your journey. And when you create an environment where you can grow, that also means that you're gonna be a student and a teacher at the same time. So it's always nice to have maybe some people that know a bit less than you, so you can help them and pull them up to your level. But it is also nice to have some people that maybe know a bit more, have a bit more experience, and they can pull you up. And this way, we all together just pull ourselves up to the next level. We support each other, and that way we can all become greater by creating a community, by creating a team, because it is easier to have a team that supports you than just doing everything by yourself all the time. So always be open to help others, but also be open to receive from others that maybe have more experience, have more skill, and then this way we can all grow together. Alright, that's all I wanted to say for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and it could help you to make some changes in your mind in order to overcome fear that you potentially have. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. And also make sure that you check out the link to my website in the description box below, because there you'll be able to book online classes with me where we can work together on your voice and work towards your personalized goals. So make sure to check it out. And I thank you all so much for watching and supporting this channel, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye bye.